All right, notes 7.3 are going to be a little bit shorter. So hopefully, you know, this one doesn't take you too much time. But we are going to do the first example together. Then you will try example 2 on your own. Okay, so let's take a look here. Oh, I tried to scroll on my computer. That's not going to work. So let's see. Which graph best represents the system of inequalities? So again, we're just continuing on with system of inequalities. But now we're going to look at 2 of them together and see which one of these graphs best matches it. And I know it looks kind of tough and you kind of would like to just guess and choose one, right? But we are actually going to make sure that both of these are in slope-intercept form. Okay, and then we're going to see which graph matches. So this first one, x plus 2y is less than negative 2. Let's go ahead and put this into slope-intercept form. So I want to move that x over by doing the opposite. Minus x here, canceling that out, leaving me with 2y is less than negative x, okay, minus 2. Now we're not done yet though, because y is not alone, so let's get rid of that 2 by doing the opposite. Divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. Now, do you remember what number you can assume is in front of a variable if you do not see one? A 1. So really this becomes negative 1 over 2. And then negative 2 divided by 2 is positive 1. Okay, so here you go. Here's your first one. Okay, we're not done. That's your first one. Let's go ahead and let's move to the other side, and I'll use a different color. And we'll look at that next one because it's also not in slope-intercept form. So y minus x is less than 3. Now let's see. This one kind of goes in a little bit different of order, doesn't it? It kind of wants to trick you, but we're still getting y completely alone. So I still just need to move x over. So I'm going to say plus x here, plus x here. That leaves me with y is less than x. Oh, my pen's getting all crazy again. X plus 3. Is y alone? It is. So you're done. Alright. So here's some easy ways to kind of tell. Now, I could go and I could graph each of them, right? I could graph it, I can test it, make sure that it is exactly what I want it to be. But let's look at some things here. Like, for example, look at both of your inequality signs. Look at this inequality sign. Look at this inequality sign. Do either of them have an equal then line underneath them? They don't. And when you don't see if it's not greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, then it cannot be a solid line. It has to be what kind of line? A dashed line. So I can already get rid of 2 answer choices. I can get rid of A and I can get rid of D because these both have to be dashed lines since there's no equal to. Okay? So look at that. We already got rid of 2 things. Now, here's the next part. Again, I could graph it. I could look at the y-intercepts, right? One of your y-intercepts should be at 3. Okay? One of your y-intercepts should be at 1. Well, ooh, look at this. That's at negative 1. So that's probably not it, right? But let's keep looking. Now, on this one. Oh, it's not supposed to be 1, is it? Miss Bailey messed up. Negative 2 divided by positive 2 is negative 1. I'm sorry, guys. That's my bad. That was silly of me. So this is actually correct. It is at negative 1, right? Same thing. That y-intercept's at negative 1. That y-intercept is at positive 3. So all the y-intercepts are correct, right? Now I could check the slopes, but what would be an easier thing maybe to check? Where it's shaded. So for this one, if it's less than, okay, so this line with the 3 on it, so that's my y-intercept, the shading should be below it. Okay, that one is. This one also says less than. So the shading should be below it, but look at that. The shading is actually above it. So B cannot be it. Your best answer choice is C, and I can test it and make sure. Let's see. This line with -1 on it should have shading below. It does. This line with 3 on it should have shading below. It does. The y-intercepts match. We could even check the slope. Let's see. Does it go down 1/2? It does. I can check the slope on this one. Does it go up 1/1? It does. So C is your best answer choice. Right? That's not too bad. We kind of had to do a lot of steps, but you know how to do each of them. Let's look at example 1 together. Like I said, you're going to try example 2, and I know that you're going to have to put this into slope-intercept form on your own, but that's kind of the point. I want you to practice it without me. But if you need help, please, please, please send me a message, right? Okay, example 1. They're both already in slope-intercept form, so they are ready to be graphed. I'm going to go ahead and graph this first one in red, since that's the color I'm using. Remember, B is your slope-intercept. No, it is in slope-intercept. That's your y-intercept. So at 4, so, alright. Then, I'm going to do the slope, which is rise over run. So this is a negative slope. So down 2, and then remember, if you don't see anything underneath, your denominator has to be 1. So down 2 over 1. So down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. I'm just going to keep going. Down 2 over 1. Right, we can keep going and going all the way down. You can kind of see the pattern here. Oh, sorry, tried to connect those for me. But I don't know yet what it's going to be. So here we go. Now, there's no equal to sign, so this has to be a dashed line. Okay, dash, 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 dashed line all the way down, okay? And then the last part, the shading. I'm going to do it in red, so it says less than. So your shading should be where? Below it. But take a look. When we have 2, we're only going to shade within the 2 lines. So I'm not going to shade just yet. But I know that in here in a second it's going to be below. Okay. Let's look at the other one. I'm going to do it in blue. Okay. There we go. So let's see. Our slope-intercept, or our y-intercept, keep doing that, is at -1. So I'm going to go put my first point at -1 on that y-intercept. Then my slope is positive 1/3. So I'm going to go up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. Now, as you can see, my lines are, oh, I accidentally went up 2 that first time, sorry. Up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. Up 1, and I can't really go that way, but that's okay because I can go down 1, left 3, down 1, left 3, okay? Now, there's my line. Let's see. It does have that equal to line, so this is going to be a solid line. Okay, right there. Oh, and I'm doing dashed. Solid line. I apologize. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Now we can shade everything. So let's go ahead. Oh gosh. Let's shade that first one. Okay. It was less than. So I have to shade below, right? What about this one? It's greater than. So I have to shade above. So where these two meet, if I shade below, it's going to be here, right? It's going to be, but I'm not going to cross that blue line. Okay, where they intersect. There we go. Shade below the line. Okay, now this one, I need to shade above the line. Remember, I'm not going to cross that red one, but if I was to shade above here, and there we go, I've graphed those two lines. I would love it if you tried example 2. Well, I would love it, but also I'm going to grade it, so make sure you do example 2. Try example 2 on your own and let me know if you need any help.